Hi there, my name is Schwingy, and I wanted to have a discussion today about how I think Path of Exile has become the gaming equivalent of delicious and satisfying comfort food for me. And maybe for you too, if you share similar views and tendencies towards the game. First off, let me get this out of the way. You're probably wondering who I am and what kind of context am I coming from to be making this video. I go by Schwingy. I've so far focused on making guides for a little game called Bullets Per Minute on this channel, but I recently had the itch to play some more Path of Exile again, and I wanted to talk about it. I've been playing Path of Exile since its release in 2013, all those years ago, after religiously watching all of Kripparians' videos as a young adult. I would have been 19 or 20 at the time. You know, before he was a Hearthstone gamer. I remember his legendary Detonate Dead rip as if I was there, and I'd spent almost all my evenings playing with my friends in the hardcore leagues. I sucked at Path really, but I had fun playing it. I remember when Val Oversoul was such a hurdle for me and my friends, and dying to the slam or the rocks falling from the sky was a regular deal. The game still had 3 difficulties, and it was a joy to go through the acts over and over, even though they were repetitive. The attraction of wanting to make my character stronger and stronger to progress further into the endgame was something I always looked forward to every league, and as my friends and I got more and more experience playing the game, we would get further and further into high tier mapping and whatnot every league. I think my peak enjoyment of the game was back in Pirandis League, where I played at least 3 different builds to level 90 or higher in hardcore, which is something I've never been able to do again since then. Holy crap, I just checked and Pirandis was 5 years ago. Not too many leagues after that, I swapped over from being a hardcore league player to a softcore league player, a transition that felt really weird at the time to be sure, but I had been getting fed up with dying to disconnects or on-death effects left behind by monsters and losing all my progress on a character in that way. With the evolution of the game, where progress in the menu systems mattered, restarting from scratch was something that I didn't want to have to deal with anymore. I remember my first league of softcore. I had joined a newly formed guild full of internet strangers to me that wanted to push hard that first week. I ended up playing for 18 hours that first day of the league and was in the top 100 characters of the league at the time of logging out, which was something that I had never even thought possible for me at the time. I happened to not really have any obligations that next day IRL, so it worked out, but I absolutely did not keep up with the others in the guild that kept pushing. That one day was good enough for me. Plus, I would have been in university at the time, so my gaming time was definitely limited by that as well. Looking back on this memory, I have a fondness for it, but playing that much has never been something that I felt a desire to repeat because I also remember how drained I was afterwards. Fast forward to today, my friends, longtime friends, not that guild I just mentioned, and I all still play to varying degrees, but not so much together anymore. Be it due to growing up, having schedules that don't match, or just less of an interest in group play and Path for some reason, we've kind of stopped doing that. Our tiny 5 to 6 person guild is just there to share some leveling gear the first week or 2 of the league and sometimes link each other nice items that we find. And that's really the extent of us playing together. I know that at this point you're probably thinking, Schwingy, you're just reminiscing of the old times, what does all this have to do with comfort food? Well, I'll get to that, don't worry. It must sound like I'm rather disenchanted with PoE at this point and that maybe it's no longer the game for me. I really thought so too for a time. I played some 80 hours in the first 2 weeks of Heist League to accomplish a goal I had set for myself, which was to reach a delve depth I had never achieved before, only in the 200 to 250 range, so really not that deep. But I remember feeling that I wasn't having fun doing it. I was just doing it because I set a goal for myself and I wanted to accomplish it. As soon as I did, I gave all my gear and currency away to my buddies to fund their crafting antics because I was done. And I mean, I really felt like I was done. I no longer wanted to play Path, and I no longer wanted to even think about Path. So I did the unthinkable and uninstalled it, something that never happened before. I turned to other ARPGs like Wolcen and Torchlight 2, hoping that they might spark some interest in me, but I couldn't get into it unfortunately, as my playtime suggests. Months later, Ritual and Echoes of the Atlas started popping up in my YouTube feed, and I actually couldn't care less. I did re-download the game and played for a few hours at my friend's request, but I don't think I even finished Act 3 before bailing. It just didn't entice me, and even now, whenever I see a ritual in one of my maps, I just think, am I really going to do this right now? Enter Ultimatum. I don't know what it was about Ultimatum that had me peaked, but this trailer had me hyped. The League mechanic looked fun and rewarding to me. The new skills looked right up my alley, and oh my god, Reap was so cool. When it launched, I couldn't help myself, I had to play. I started out as a self-cast Reap Inquisitor, which turned out to kinda suck, especially in Ultimatums, so I transitioned into the much better Exsanguinate at my friend's suggestion, which I then transitioned into Cast on Crit Exsanguinate, which felt great. Cyclone, am I right? I must have only played for a week to a week and a half, reaching level 87 before getting bored and leaving the game again. Until recently. A couple weeks ago, the urge to play again came back. You might think it was the recent video teaser for Next League that brought me back into the game, but no. I picked up the game again because it's become comfort food to me. Some really unfortunate stuff has been going on in life, and Path is the prime game for me to turn to distract me from it. I'm positive I'm not alone in this. You see, Path of Exile is a game where there is always something else you can be doing, something to look forward to, and right now that's exactly what I need. Comfort food is a meal that will lift your spirits, fill you up, and even though you've had your fill, you can't help yourself but go for seconds or thirds even. PoE is the same for me now. Whether it's trying to find or craft that next piece of better gear for my build, pop in some heist contracts, or tackle on a boss fight I've been looking forward to, I always have something to keep me full. When I'm not playing the game, I can be thinking about potential second builds I might want to try out or what kind of gameplay content I want to focus on next. I feel that this is even more so true if you're playing in the solo self-found game mode like I am this time around. If you're tired of the state of trading like I always am, then I really suggest you try out solo self-found if you haven't already. It does limit what builds you can do in the game, but getting lucky and getting the right pieces for whichever build you choose to go with just feels fantastic. Let's bring out an example. When I first got a Rhyme Gaze on this character, which is a spell-slinging Vortex Occultist by the way, I was super hyped. And then I got 3 more Rhyme Gazes in the next 2 days, which made that first one feel pretty meh in retrospect. But then I remembered I can Vol them. So I Volved my best one and got this +2 to duration gems on the first try. Now that's not to say that this kind of luck will happen to you if you play SSF, but it is to say that when any kind of good luck like this happens, it's so much more significant than in Trade League. Heck, I don't have footage of this, but I got a shiny Soul Ripper from my one and only Val Reliquary key. Sorry, Lighty. Now I've kind of explained how the game is great at distracting me from things going on in life that are out of my control, but part of what makes PoE something that I can keep coming back to is how familiar it is to me. Comfort food is usually thought of as a home-cooked meal that maybe your mom or somebody else in your family, I won't be gender stereotyping here, my dad's a great cook too, would have cooked when you were growing up. It's something that you associate with good memories at family gatherings maybe, or just something to warm you up on a rainy evening. Because I've had the PoE experiences that I've had these past 8 years, the game is so easily approachable to me. I can play the game on my main screen and have a YouTube video playing on my second screen that interests me, or a podcast to listen to, which is a very relaxing experience. I don't worry too much about optimizing my builds or my Atlas progress or any of the various systems. I mean, Syndicate is an absolute mystery to me. I just execute everyone. And that's a perfectly viable and honestly relaxing way to play the game. I just throw in a map that doesn't look like it'll kill me instantly and I have fun. This isn't to say that other games can't have the same effect, of course they can. I have no doubt that some of you are thinking that your comfort food gaming equivalent is something else entirely. Maybe it's World of Warcraft, Animal Crossing, Dead Cells, Final Fantasy, Raid Shadow Legends. Okay, I'm joking about that last one, but who knows? Whatever game it is for you, I hope that you keep enjoying it and that it stays something that you can turn to whenever times get tough. Just remember that no matter how delicious your food is, if you eat too much of it or have it too often, you'll get sick of it eventually. Thank you so much for watching and listening to this video. I hope you can relate to it in some way, and if so, I'd love to hear about your experiences in the comments below. Remember to like and subscribe for more content if you enjoyed the video. I have no idea if I'll do more Path of Exile videos in the future, but it seems likely as it's easily my most played game of all time. I hope you have a great day, afternoon, evening, whatever it might be for you. See you next time.